Peter asks, I understand the need to remove headers from the youth game, but I feel like when it suddenly gets introduced at an older age group, the kids haven't had proper training to know how to safely head a ball. Guidelines currently say no heading a ball, even in training, at the younger age groups. Could you speak to why we can't teach kids proper heading technique through the younger age groups, even with something lighter like a volleyball? And I think there's some products out there now that are designed for that, so they at least know how to do it by the time that it's introduced, as they get a little bit older.
Peter, great question. The answer is you can teach heading. And there are a lot of clubs or entities out there that are doing softball, the technique, jump, and neck strengthening. What I can share with you is a couple of things that are going on. At the Federation, we are actually looking at a program because after we put the heading restrictions in place, there were different entities or different companies out there that were in that space on heading progression and how to head the ball. And so what we really didn't put anything out there. I could tell you actively now, with the FA and others that have put in these restrictions and us, we're working with researchers to help put together some programs that I think you will see in the next 6 to 12 months available as a resource to help and help coaches and guide them. And a couple things. So if you're at a club, by all means, you could tell your coaches, hey, you can incorporate some of that, right? So that the children learn the technique. Some of the technique is honestly learning to jump and land, learning to jump and fall, right? Because we also see kids falling and not knowing how to fall because they're not as active as maybe we were in different ways when we were younger. So, and then the next thing is that our rules allow a progression between 11 to 13 years old. And in that 11 to 13, there is a limited amount of heading of about 20 to 25 a week. And then you can head the ball in the game. And then after 13, it's not. Now, the debate is going to be is what's the right age, right? You're seeing in Europe maybe somewhere of a 15, 16, 17 years old. We recently had a head injury summit and we had experts together to look at the most recent literature, and we felt comfortable staying with the recommendations we were still at. But I'm also not, I'm concerned about at 16 years old, all of a sudden allowing heading because now you're physically bigger, you're stronger. And so I think that debate still exists. But Peter, hopefully that answers your question.